Yo, what up? It's B-Cide here. And I wanted to let y'all know that I stopped comparing my journey to everyone else's. One of the biggest ways I used to steal my own happiness was comparing my journey to everybody else's. When I was younger, I compared myself to artists like Tech Nine. I compared myself to Insane Clown Posse. I compared myself to signed independent rappers who were touring, selling records, and building a huge fan base. I always felt like I was behind. I always thought if I could just get signed, if I could just get that one big break, everything would finally fall into place. Then life changed when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Comparison became impossible because the truth is, we weren't even running the same race anymore. Those artists could jump in a van and tour for weeks, months, years. They could travel every day. They could perform night after night, physically. That wasn't my reality anymore. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to accept. But looking back, it also taught me one of the greatest lessons in my life. How could I compare my life to somebody living a completely different life? The scorecards weren't even the same anymore. At first, the realization was painful. And eventually, it became freeing. It became freeing because I stopped asking, why don't I have what they have? I stopped asking why don't I have what they have, and I started asking what can I build with the life that I've been given. And that question changed everything. So see, today I'm not trying to build exactly what Tech 9 built. I'm not trying to build exactly what ICP built. But I'm building something that's uniquely mine, okay? I'm building it around my music, my memoir, around Monster, around YouTube, around TikTok, around 55 Strong, a community, people from different countries encouraging one another, people living with MS, people who just need somebody to talk to. That's something completely different. Years ago, I used to be jealous of record deals. I thought getting signed meant you had made it. Now I understand what most record deals actually look like: giving up ownership, giving up masters, owing money back to the record label, giving somebody else control over your entire career. And the older I get, the more I realize I wasn't really missing out. I was protecting my freedom. When I see somebody farther ahead than me today, I honestly think, seriously, good for them. I hope they succeed. And then I get right back to building what I'm building. Because their journey, it's not my journey. And here's something that I've thought a lot about. If I had actually become famous in my 20s, I honestly don't think Monster would have ever existed. I might have had one hit, maybe two. Maybe I'd have been a flash in the pan. Instead, life gave me an experience that I never would have chosen: multiple sclerosis, writing a memoir, building a community, learning how to help people through music instead of just entertaining them. Now, those experiences shaped the most meaningful project I've ever created. And looking back, I really wouldn't trade that. The moment I stopped comparing my journey to everyone else's, I finally started enjoying my own. I became more fulfilled, more grateful, more excited about what I was building instead of worrying about what somebody else had already built. There will always be somebody with more money, more followers, more awards, a bigger house, a bigger audience. And I say, that's okay. I'm not trying to build their life. I'm trying to build my life. And comparison makes you focus on somebody else's highlight reel instead of appreciating your own progress. And, once I stopped doing that, I finally started enjoying the journey. Stay strong, stay wicked. Like, subscribe, share this with somebody who you think might need it. It's B-Cide. Check out 55strong.cc for all the information. Peace out.